Yes, we are actually live today after Instagram's huge outage yesterday. Let me invite my guest, the lovely Emma. You've all met her before. Rebalancing you. There we are. Send request there already. She might see that come through. Yes, we are talking about something I like the idea of that Emma said to me a couple of weeks ago. She said, I feel that September is like a new year for mums. And I was like, yes, what a great idea. Good afternoon.
Hi, I was just going to say good. I was morning, but it is afternoon, isn't it?
Yes.
It's noon. Yeah.
Pause. I was like, good afternoon. Oops, there it goes. I nearly lost you entirely there with my wobbly stand, which I have propped up in a box, which is really not big enough. I'm in the process of sorting out a proper office, but you know, it might happen one day. So yeah, I like that idea. When you got in touch and you said, right, yeah, you know, September, new year for mums. Kids are going back, aren't they? Whatever age your kids are, the summer holidays can be quite hectic, frantic. And as much as I said, I am so on it this summer holiday because my kids are getting older and I've got so much I'm going to get done. I got nothing done, not a thing. I've put on a few pounds and I've not done my exercise. I've been completely the opposite of a health coach for the whole of the 6 weeks.
Yeah,
And so I
me
really
too.
liked it when you really liked it when you said, yeah, you know, this is our chance, isn't it? The kids are back. And there is something about, you know, that you get all the new school uniform and the new shoes. It's like all this newness.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. How do you feel about that kind of topic?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said to you, I always feel like September is I'm not going to lie, the first week of September is actually probably quite for everyone because, as we just said, new school year, summer's ending, the weather changes and you put a jumper on in the morning and then by the afternoon you're regretting it because it's warm. Your clothes kind of don't fit. You realise your coat, you need a new coat. There's loads of things. But then after the first week or so, and it's all settled back down, for me, it kind of just feels like a big hug. That's what I always think of September. And I don't know if that's because I love autumn and I actually like winter. So I'd like summer too, but autumn and winter are and I think, I don't know, I like autumn colours and things. So I love that sort of changing seasons. I love watching the seasons change. So for me, it just feels like a big hug and a really nice kind of, I don't know, it's just like a nice start. And Christmas isn't that far away. And I know that's not a subject that loads of people like to talk about, but for me, I just like it's almost here, it's kind of like a sort of thing. So I get really excited about that. But with regards to mums, what you just said, the summer holidays, we all promise ourselves in the summer holidays we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and we've got all that 6 weeks. We're going to clean out our sheds, we're going to do our wardrobes or whatever, and we're going to start eating healthily, because I think that's the thing with summer. You tend to eat like salads and outdoor eating, and it's all really not really this year in our weather, but so you kind of eat really, you feel like you're eating healthily, but you're probably a little bit, you're out of sync with your general kind of like where you would normally eat. And I think that's the other thing. So whilst you think you're eating healthy, you suddenly realise come September that, Christmas is coming and you want to look good and you've gained a few pounds and that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely for me, it feels like and I think I said this to you before, I know there's New Year and everybody makes these New Year's resolutions that, that we don't always stick to. And we feel kind of regret over that. And in September, I'm not saying go make loads of resolutions and that you're going to stick to them and you're going to be amazing and that's it now. All I'm saying is that some of the things that you kind of promised yourself, this is kind of like your second chance to you can have a second chance any day of the week. You don't have to have a date, you don't have to put a date on it. But unfortunately, in this world that we live in, that is what happens. We see it all over the place. And so it's just a way of kind of being kind to yourself and thinking, okay, I didn't do what I wanted to do. This is not a fresh start, but a new time that I can then go on and do something for myself. And I think you have to think of it as doing it for you as well, because the kids have gone back. And if you haven't got kids, so let's just say you haven't got children, it still has that freshness and that new season because we're moving into autumn. So I just feel like, yeah, I just love it.
Yeah,
Just love it.
yeah, it's really great. I like that. And it is always nice to know that, like you said, you can make a fresh start or try something new at any time of year,
Yeah.
any time in your life. It doesn't matter. But it is quite nice to have this kind of focal point of September being maybe that time where,
Yeah.
don't worry about what you haven't done or what has happened. Just start that, just start afresh with a new approach to how you're going to move forward. What do you really want for yourself? How do you want to feel?
Yeah.
Any kind of those nagging doubts, or I can't, I always say, I don't want to say inner chatter again. I'm a bit bored of saying it, to be quite honest. But that, that negative
Yeah.
self-talk or whatever it is, where you go, I should have done that. Haven't done it.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about it, because there's
Yeah.
always
Just forget.
time to change something. Small, big, doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we're kind of talking about, isn't it? And you've thought about this quite a lot, haven't you? Because you've actually put something together to help
Yeah. I have.
ladies.
Yeah, that's right. So I've got like a 7 day, it's a reset. I called it 7 day reset. And it's a 7 day um, plan, a meal plan with 1 week of support from me. And I've said that it's like you feel great, lose weight. And I'm not saying you're going to lose a load of weight because that's not the idea. You might, it's basically a resetting of your eating habits, a resetting of your mindset, and a resetting of the way that you're thinking about eating food. And with that, often comes a little bit of healthy weight loss. We're not talking like kilograms, we're talking about 1 or 2 pounds. Because generally, what happens is you just reset everything about the way that you're eating, and it's just something to take you forward. Um, so that's the thing, I'm not promising in 7 days you're going to be like a size 8 or whatever you want to do. And it doesn't even have to be something that you lose weight for. It can just be a reset of the way that you're eating, looking at your diet in a different way, concentrating on all the things that we need for healthy living, especially in midlife. Um, so the emphasis is on making sure that every meal is protein rich and that it's got loads of fruit and veg included. Um, so that's the thing. It's about looking at it as a whole and resetting your mindset and resetting the way that you're thinking about the food that you're eating. Um, and yes, you know, ladies will lose a little bit of weight, um, but the main thing that they get from it is that they feel absolutely great from doing it. And because it has a week of support with me, every day we've got there's a little bit of mindset work during that 7 days, and me just cheering you on for the whole week, really.
I think it's really important for people to take on that there is a focus on mindset and the habit of how you eat, because I think especially as women, we're very focused on the weight and we're very focused on the figures. And really, it's not about that, is it? It's about how you feel about food and what your mindset is towards your own body and the way that you eat and how you eat and how you
Yeah.
feel when you eat, more than what happens when you get on, if you have any scales in your house, which are not advisable really. If you do get on the scales, or if you put on that pair of jeans a bit tight and how they feel, it is much more about the mindset and how you approach food. And like you said, if you can start to shift that, your body will naturally start to get into a healthier shape and weight if it needs to.
That's right.
Because that focus we can't keep going for this diet mindset, can we? Because it's ruining us. It's ruining, that's why there's such a massive diet industry.
Yeah.
That's why it's so massively profitable. I mean, it must be globally, it must be billions
I
a
think,
year, and it's
yeah.
preying on people's weaknesses. And this I love, because you're looking at this in a really holistic way.
Yeah, that's right. And I think, just saying about the diet industry, I think it's something like, I don't know where if I've got this wrong, but I think it's 84% of people that join up to, I won't mention any big names, but the weekly ones where you go and have a weekly meeting, 84% are returners.
Yeah.
So that tells you that model isn't really working. So, you know, and that's the reason why it's such a big industry. And of course, you know, my reset does include a 7-day plan, but it's something, it's not diet food. It's not like, you know, it's not changing anything. It's just making sure that every single meal is balanced,
Yes.
and that it's taking care of your hormones. It's going to be um, helping your hormones, not disrupting them. You know, and just making sure that your insulin levels, which are really important, especially in perimenopause, your blood sugar, making sure that that is, you know, throughout the day is nice and balanced. And so at the beginning of the reset, I've got a blood sugar and energy review you do. So we do that at the beginning and we do that at the end to see how you feel with regards to your energy. And like you said before about scales, I'm not recommending anybody get jumps on a scale. Of course, unfortunately, because of the way that people work, loads of people do jump on scales. And if you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. It's up to every individual. But what I would recommend is taking your favourite pair of jeans or whatever you feel is a bit tight, putting them on at the beginning, seeing how you feel, and then at the end, sort of have a feel. And the one other thing, and you probably know this, Rachel, because you've suffered from years of with your IBD, but bloating can often make you feel like you're fatter or larger than you actually are. And what happens is when you eat well and you eat for your you know, that takes care of your digestion and your microbiome is more nourished, often bloating will be reduced, and that can make you feel a lot nicer in your clothes. You know, I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm so fat, I need to lose weight," and actually, they don't. It's not that; it's that they've got bloating. Once that bloating's gone, they can wear all their favourite clothes, and they realise it was just the food they were eating, or they weren't eating the right food.
Yeah. And that is the difference, isn't it? What you're talking about is balanced nutrition, which is what
Yes.
we all need to be doing, rather than the can and the can'ts of the diet
Yeah.
industry. You can eat this, you can't eat that, but the goals are different to what you're talking about. You're talking about feeling great in your body
Yes.
functioning much more how it wants to function. And if we can just get ourselves to that point, everything else will fall into place, won't it? And I love what you're saying about the bloating, you know, and so many women and some and men suffer with bloating, and you're right, it makes you feel crap because of course it has an impact on your mood. It's not
Yeah.
just how you feel in your clothes and that uncomfortable feeling by the end of the day, then when you're literally, your torso looks entirely different to when you've got up, but it's also
Yeah.
how it makes you feel in your head and what it does for
Yeah.
your energy levels. And even that in itself can make you feel like you're sluggish and you're overweight and you're losing it, when actually it's a lot to do with what your gut is saying to you, the actual environment
Yeah.
inside your gut. So to have this opportunity for anybody that's going to join Emma for this reset is fantastic. 7 days just to find out a little bit more about your body and actually get a little bit more in touch with food and mood and how you
Yeah.
feel about yourself is a really lovely thing to do.
And I think that's a really key point what you just mentioned about the way that you feel, you know, your emotions that come, you know, that you feel once when you feel bloated or you don't feel great about your body, you do start having those kind of feelings of well, all, I mean, people vary from, you know, rage, depression, sadness, anger, you know, whatever they feel. And that's often where emotional eating then can come into play. And then you make the wrong choices, or not necessarily the wrong choices, but not the best choices for you at that time. And so that's also something over the 7 days that we're doing. We're going to be practicing mindful eating as well, which is being in touch with how you feel once you've eaten. You know, thinking about um, listening to, you said the inner chatter earlier on, listening to the inner voice or the inner messages that you're getting once you've eaten food. Because I think that's the thing today as well. We don't take time to sit down and relax and eat our food. We don't take time to look at our food, smell it, see the textures, the colours, the brightness, be thankful for it. And I'm not saying you start saying prayers for it. I don't mean that. I'm just, you know, be grateful that you have that food. And that all helps with the way that you feel about when you feel full and your emotions around food. So there's also like a mindful eating checklist. during the 7 days, and we'll be covering that over the 7 days as well. So it's really is like a holistic approach.
Yeah, and that's how it needs to be. And
Yeah,
yeah, the emotional eating side, I mean, that's huge, isn't it, in itself?
yeah,
But that is hugely important. I mean, I recognize that in myself a lot, and that's helped me out loads. But you know, when you do go to eat something, or you say you're hungry,
yeah,
is it a physical hunger or is it an emotional hunger? What is
yeah,
actually calling you to go to the cupboard or the fridge? And is the choice you're about to make really nourishing your body, or is it almost in some other way like some kind of a punishment, really?
yeah.
Because we
It's a
think
bit.
we want to eat that sugary snack or the crisps or something, but you know that within 5 minutes of having it, you're going to start beating yourself up for it, because you know that
Yeah,
it doesn't done you any good, and it hasn't nourished you, and it hasn't given you that, you haven't overcome the hunger that you're feeling. So it's really good
yeah,
you're covering that, you're starting to touch on that topic in the same time, because
yeah,
that awareness, just that awareness of even why am I looking for something to eat right now, is quite a big step for most people, because we do eat mindlessly. And like you said, massively important to actually pay attention to the meal you're about to take. And I do understand now why people do have grace, because you are literally
yeah,
taking that few
exactly.
seconds to pay attention to the food you're about to put in your body, because it gives your brain a chance to say to your body, get ready, there's food
Yeah,
coming. Because we're so used to eating on the run and grabbing a snack and running around the kitchen and shoving it. Oh God, before school run, you're starving, you should have had lunch hours
yeah,
ago. And then you're starting to affect your dinner, aren't you? Because your insulin levels are then all over the place, because it's probably about an hour
yeah.
and a half before you're going to have dinner, and you should, just, yes, absolutely love it, got to have that in there. So it's a really, really great package.
Yeah, it is really good. And the thing is, as well, I mean, we touched on the mindful eating and the emotional eating, and that's not something that you can fix in 7 days. Of course not. But what it is, it's just giving you some awareness of, um, and the starting point, and then you can move forward, because everyone needs to start somewhere, and everyone sometimes needs a helping hand and a tool, and often we see a lot of stuff online, and that's why I've got the 1 week of support alongside of it, because you almost need that little bit of encouragement as well, and to make sure that you're on the right tracks, and that you and also to share as well, to share your experiences, because that's the other thing. I think um, I don't know where I saw it this morning. I think it was Esther Perel, talking about putting your oxygen mask on first. And there's always that thing. But what she was actually saying was, yes, you do need to put your oxygen mask on first. However, you also need to be with others to understand how other people react and how you react to other people. So when you're in a group, and you have others around you that are supporting you, you can see and appreciate the reactions of others, and the way that you react as well.
And I'm a real big fan of community and groups,
Yeah,
and the science behind it is phenomenal,
yeah,
and that's something that I want to move into in the future, is working with groups, because
yeah,
having the support is having that support and sharing your experience and seeing how others are doing and hearing their own challenges.
yeah,
But that problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? And I really think it is. When you can be in a group setting like you're offering, with
yeah,
your monitoring and support for that time, it's huge.
yeah.
It's huge. People don't want to feel alone. If anything, we've learned over the last 18 months, we are not meant to be separated from each other. We need to
Yeah,
be together. And yeah,
yeah,
doing it like this, I would much rather do something like you're offering in a group than on my own, because also you get much more accountability, not only from
yeah,
you,
you
but from
do.
the people that are doing it alongside you. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
exactly. And I mean, I know that people don't, you shouldn't really compare, but by nature you do. And so you have a benchmark, don't you? And there's benchmarks then to where you can get to, where somewhere sitting in the middle. I always used to say to my kids, it doesn't matter if you don't come first, as long as you don't come last, which is not the best thing, but it's just giving them that benchmark to kind of keep cheering them on, really, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's not the right approach, but it worked for my kids. They're all both happy, so.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, absolutely. So when is the reset starting?
so it starts on September the 20th. So about 5 or 6 days before that, I'll send through all the information, the reset pack, with all the extra information. So there's 7 days of meals, a meal plan, an itinerary, shopping list, mindful eating checklist, the blood and sugar and energy review, and then I'll be setting up a temporary WhatsApp group for support and sharing pictures. So yes, it's September 20th, and there's a early bird offer that ends on midnight on Sunday, and it's only £35.
Wow.
So it's a really affordable, you know, sort of thing to do. And I do it sort of like 3-4 times a year. So whilst I love September as a really good starting point, I also do it at other points in the year. So it's not just about September; it's about resetting at different points in the year.
Oh, I love that. That's, I know, £35 is crazy. So that is available until about, when did you say that offer ends?
At midnight on Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
5th, is it? Yeah, 5th on Sunday.
Yeah,
5th.
yeah. So how do we find out how to join you? Where do we go?
So the link in my bio, I've actually got one of those link tree things now. So if you click on that, it will take you to, and you can just select, and it's called Reset 7. So just click on that and select that. And then that takes you through to the page, and you can just pay on there and everything's fine. You get an email.
That's amazing. And if anybody has any questions, they can just ping them over to you?
Yeah, or DM me, if they want any more information. DM me, again, or go to the link in my bio. They can email me. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's, go on.
Yeah, no, it sounds brilliant. I mean, I think, you know, I'm looking at the clock. We've kind of whipped through that, but I mean, you've explained it all, you know. It's a really great thing to do. 1 week, just 1 week.
Yeah.
Just to really get yourself feeling good, get yourself thinking about what you really want, how you want to feel, learn more about the food and yourself. It's an absolute no-brainer. So I will put this video up on my grid. I will link, I'll obviously tag you in there. So anybody that watches this later or watching it now, thank you for joining us. If you've got any questions, put them in the box before we finish. But, you know, you guys, Emma's amazing. You know, you've met her before and you love her. So just get over there, follow her, look through her link tree, ask any questions you've got. But why you wouldn't do this, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't do this. It's just a fantastic, really genuinely fantastic offer. And what were you going to say just then?
One caveat, I might mention Christmas.
Oh yeah, you might mention the C word.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, got to have a bit of fun in there. But yeah, no, it'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to get this video up so people can come and find you, and we'll speak again soon. And all the best for the reset.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye. Bye.